Hey, Mikey.
Yeah?
Another care package from your mom.
Great, help me open it.
Another red sweater. More golf balls. And this stuff?
Life cereal.
Looks like your mom forgot me this month.
Try some, you might like it.
Life cereal. One taste of that lightly sweet toasted oat goodness and you'll say...
Hey, I like it.
Told you.
And Mikey,
Hey.
next time ask your mom to send you some too.
One taste and you'll have a taste for life.
If you think you can never wear Lee press-on nails because of the active things you do, try these. Active length Lee press-on nails. Easy to put on as natural length, as flattering as glamour length Lee press-on nails, but in a length that beautifies active hands. Active length Lee press-on nails. Beautiful, yet sturdy enough to use over and over. They take your favorite polish so well, they're almost impossible to chip. Active women press-on. Lee active length press-on nails.
This is USA, America's all-entertainment network.
Dee Dee, I'm sorry. I'll get something to
Oh, wait a second. Come back here, Mitzi Martin.
But Dee Dee, I mean, your coffee, it's
Never
messy.
mind about that. I want to talk to you right now.
Why don't we talk when we get home?
No, I tried talking to you at home this morning, but you were out that front door like a shot. Now, I want to talk to you right now. Why were you so anxious to get to work this morning?
I was avoiding you.
Well, you're honest anyway.
Dee Dee, I just didn't want any more of your lectures. You know, you have a real tendency to get dictatorial sometimes.
Well, you're going to get more of the same right now, so sit down. Sit. Now, Mitzi, I've talked to you before about reporting Gunther Wagner to the authorities, haven't I? And from what you told me about what he tried to do with you last night, you really don't have a choice. When are you going to do it? Now, if you want, I can take care of the whole thing. I happen to be a very capable lawyer, you know.
Dee Dee, I know that. It's just that...
It's just that what?
Gunther Wagner is very intimidating. There could be consequences.
Mitzi, it is not only your right, it is your duty to report Gunther Wagner. Now, what if he tried to do the same thing again, either to you or to somebody else? You've got to report him now.
I did report him to Cliff. And Gunther threatened to break Cliff in half. Dee Dee, he'll do it, too. He'll break Cliff in half if he knows I told on him.
Okay, Mitzi. I will talk to Calvin. That way, neither you or Cliff has to worry.
But, Dee Dee, nothing actually happened last night.
Mitzi, are you waiting for an actual rape to occur before you do anything?
Dee Dee, please. I just don't want any trouble. You gotta promise me not to tell anybody about this, especially Cliff. Promise me.
Mitzi.
Gunther, come on, wake up, it's late. Come on, get moving, come on, Gunther!
Hey, don't stop crowding me, huh, Mitzi, baby? Come on.
Mitzi?
Hey. Why did you do that anyway?
I'm so sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to wake you up. You were sleeping so soundly.
Yeah. So what's the hurry about getting up anyway?
We have a few jobs to do, remember?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, just let me have 5 more minutes, all right?
No, you don't. Now, you know that Spencer gets up with the chickens.
I didn't know he slept with the chickens.
If he finds the two of us in here together, we're in big trouble, and you know that.
Well, don't worry about Spencer.
Don't just sit there. Move.
Okay. Don't bug me, all right? I don't know what 5 more minutes would make any difference anyway.
Right. Want to get back to that nice dream you were having before I woke you up?
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
It's obvious that you were having a very pleasant time.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was.
What was it? Oh, I mean, who?
Well, you know it was you, baby.
I'll bet. I'm going back to my room to get dressed. I have a lot of shopping to do for the house. I'll see you later.
Okay, baby. Let's see. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Let's see. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Little Mitzi. She called me an old ball thing. Well, we'll just see about that, honey cakes.
Here you go, Adam. Excuse me. Where in the world is Jody?
She's still in the bathroom.
Well, she better hurry up. I can't keep these scrambled eggs warm forever.
Jody! Jody!
Yes, Adam, I'm coming. Good morning.
You better hurry up, miss. The gunman's gotten nailed.
What about?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You want eggs? They're lukewarm.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm meeting Gavin at Sid's Tavern for breakfast.
Don't you have a job anymore?
Mm-hmm. But I don't have to be there until 10 o'clock.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess you prefer greasy restaurant food to good home cooking.
No. Sid's Tavern is famous for featuring home-cooked meals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, however, they're not as good as yours.
Okay, well, I know when I'm being kidded. Thank you.
Hey, how about a kiss to start the day? Sure.
Oh, good.
Mwah. Oh. So long, everybody.
Bye. Oh, boy, did you see her bounce down the stairs this morning? She's really snapping out of it, getting back to her old self, thank heavens.
Oh, thank heavens is right. We've had enough crises in this house in the last few weeks to last a lifetime. Personally, I'm looking forward to a little routine boredom.
Me too.
Right on.
Another county heard from. Would you care for anything else? Either
No,
of you?
thank you.
No, thanks, but I would appreciate it if you'd take Adam to school. We're running kind of late. Miles is still upstairs shaving.
Oh, sure thing. Oh, yep. I think Jody's really coming out of her Eden dream. I should say nightmare. Oh, what a relief. We have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, and I have something new to be depressed about.
Oh, wonderful. What now?
Well, I'm wondering whether or not Skye Whitney is going to be my new boss.
Well, your worst fears have been confirmed according to the Monticello Press. The answer is yes.
Oh, drat.
Yeah, you'll notice he says in his statement there that the thing he's most interested in is going to be the news department.
That is not a comforting thought.
Well, you have nothing to worry about, I assure you. Okay, come on, fella, let's go. Bye-bye.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Goodman, I'll get it.
Okay, bye.
Hello? Oh, hi, Barbara. No, he's still here. Sure, I'll get him. Hold on just a second. She sounded odd. Miles? Miles, Barbara's on the phone.
Yeah, Barbara, what?
Hello, Dr. Kavanaugh. I just wanted to remind you that you were going to stop by the office this morning before making hospital rounds.
Yeah, I remember. Well, thank you for reminding me. Listen, you sound a little bit... Are you all right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, then I'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.
Bye, Doctor.
Is this about right?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, watch it. 1, 2, 3, entrance here. 4, 5, 6, another chair for that table. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, another entrance. 13, 14, 15, and the French door's right there.
Okay, great. Now, what time did you set the rehearsal for?
11:30. Now, when's the set supposed to come in?
The morning of the opening.
That's cutting it kind of close, isn't it?
Yep, but there's nothing we can do about it.
I'm hungry. Have you had breakfast yet?
No, there's some brown muffins and coffee over there. You want them?
No, thanks. I'm supposed to meet Jody at Sid's.
Okay, well, we're all set here, aren't we? You go ahead.
Yeah, it looks that way. Listen, I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay.
Morning.
Val.
Forgive me for walking out on you. I have to go meet Jody.
Oh, glad to get rid of you.
I can see that.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye, Gavin.
Hi.
Hi. Are you busy?
No, we just got set up for rehearsal. We got a little time for coffee. What are you, psychic? How did you know I wanted to see you?
Actually, Jim, I wanted to ask you a question. Now, don't get upset. Just give me a straight answer, okay?
Okay, what is it?
Why didn't you tell me that Buffy Revere was supporting you?
You might think that $849 is a lot to pay for a steak and eggs breakfast. But when you consider what you're really getting is a Gen Air grill range with a free griddle on the side, it might be the best bargain you've ever had.
I polish away plaque when I polish my smile.
New Pearl Drops tooth polish with foaming action helps polish away plaque.
It's a great feeling.
Polish your smile with new Pearl Drops and help polish away plaque.
Now that we're parents, we better learn to cook.
First lesson, make sure your peanut butter's Jif.
The difference is Jif's peanuttier taste that says you mean the world to me.
More peanutty than any other big brand we've tried.
For you special ones, it's the taste for a peanutty.
Being a parent myself, I've tried all the big brands, and Jif has more fresh roasted peanut taste.
Marvelous. Not in front of the children.
They live for danger.
All right, freeze, turkeys!
They're the guys from Riptide. Private Eyes with a Punch.
Just like a spy movie, isn't it?
Perry King, Joe Penny, and Tom Bray. Riptide. Monday through Saturday on USA.
Well, I thought I made this very clear. Every red cent that's gone into this theater has come from Buffy. This is a business deal. She's my patron of the arts.
I know all that, Jim. I'm talking about your personal expenses.
What about them?
They're being paid by her, aren't they?
Who told you that?
It doesn't matter who told me. And the person who did tell me did not mean any malice by it, okay? But what does matter is that you didn't tell me. I think that's less than candid.
Okay, I admit it. I concealed it. But I was just trying to be discreet. I was just trying to protect myself. Val, I've got a lot of pride in this. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
It was totally necessary. I mean, I lost my unemployment benefits a long time ago, and I couldn't take a secondary job. The theater's too important now, but I had to eat, I had to pay rent, so I took advantage of Buffy's offer. But it's a loan. Believe me?
Jim, I believe you. And I'm sorry to make such a point of this, but I want us to be able to be honest with each other.
Fair.
And I do hope that your understanding with Buffy cuts both ways.
Good morning. Good morning, my dear.
Well, if it isn't the angel herself.
Oh, how wonderful to be in the Temple of Thespis, in the Cathedral of the Dramatic Arts.
Good morning, Buffy.
Mrs. Revere?
Oh, yes. Hello, Miss Bryson.
You're especially cheery this morning, aren't you?
Oh, my dear boy. I am absolutely beside myself with excitement over the opening of the Whitney Theater. Now only 1 week away, I hope.
Is there some question about the opening?
Well, there's a little problem. The ingenue got sick, and we don't have an understudy.
Yes, I know. She's come down with some sort of exotic illness. Very inconsiderate of her, I must say. I don't suppose she could play it from a wheelchair, could she, darling? I mean, couldn't you cut that line? Tennis, anyone?
Well, I hope it doesn't go that far, but...
What if it does?
Oh, this brilliant man will take care of it. I know he will. He can handle anything, can't you? You splendid man.
Yes, yes, I'm sure he'll think of something.
Well, I'll do my damnedest.
Ah, Raymond! There you are. And on time, too.
Morning, Miss Revere.
Buffy, darling. Buffy, don't let me have to tell you again. You know Mr. Dietrichson, of course?
Yes, we've met. Hi.
And I don't believe you've met Miss Bryson. Miss Bryson, Mr. Davenport, one of the actors of our company.
Miss Bryson.
How do you do?
This divine person is going to take me to breakfast this morning, aren't you, darling?
Yes, Buffy.
Well, and about time, too. Oh, dear. If I could only learn to curb my appetite.
It was a disaster. My daughter dropped a whole jar of pickled beets on her coat. Our local cleaner wouldn't touch it, so I gave her my Liquid Tide. It cleaned the coat beautifully. Liquid Tide is fantastic. Sincerely, Mildred Morrow.
Can your liquid get out a whole jar of pickled beets? Liquid Tide did. You'll be surprised how many things Liquid Tide gets out. Clothes come clean because Tide won't quit.
Lots more dishes to do and your suds fizzled out again. Think your bargain brand is really a bargain? Think again. One squeeze of an average bargain brand can clean only this many dishes. The same amount of Ivory liquid cleans this many, and this many more, about twice as many. Ivory suds last longer than the bargain brands, so they clean about twice as many dishes. And that's the simple truth.
Now there's something new about Ivory, a new everyday low price. The same great Ivory is an even better value.
If you don't read the Wall Street Journal, you're saving a little time when you could be investing it.
Call 800-527-9800 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.50 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.50. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
If you thought last year's preseason NIT was good, just wait till this year. Fast break to a new season of college basketball with USA Sports.
We're talking 3 oatmeals and 1 egg with ham.
No. I'm the only one who wanted oatmeal.
Right.
Why don't you write it down?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, okay, oatmeal. All right, now, that's 4 coffees.
No. Tea.
Milk.
Decaffeinated.
Coffee.
How's that again?
Tea.
Milk.
Decaffeinated.
Coffee.
Why don't you write it down?
Yeah, right there. Look. You take a pencil, you see to make these, and you use the point. Go ahead. Hey, you want to excuse us a minute?
Sure.
Hey, look, you've been acting funny all morning. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine, really. It's just that, my mind's on vacation or something.
Yeah, sure. Well, Mitzi, she's really a nervous wreck. We'll have to talk to her.
Yeah. Gavin, how's your new production coming along?
It's going to be fine, I think. There's one major problem right now.
What?
The young actress who's playing the second lead is sick. Came down with something the day the company came to Monticello.
So, her understudy will play the part.
There are no understudies.
Oh, that is trouble.
Wait a minute. Look, Mitzi's real good. Why don't you give her a chance?
Mitzi would be fine in terms of type, Cliff. But the role is rather large, and I'm not so sure that she has the experience to handle it.
Gavin, I think you may be right. Despite her bravado, Mitzi would probably die of stage fright.
Some roommate you are.
Oh, wait a second. What's wrong with a little stage fright? Everybody has stage fright. Once you get on stage, it goes away. I mean, it happens to me every morning at the Penny Playhouse. And besides, stage fright is just like the common cold.
How's that?
There's no cure for it.
She's right. Look, Mitzi is very talented. She'd be very good in this role. And as far as her nerves, she could be rock steady. I mean, she could have nerves of steel.
Jody, here's your ham and eggs. Oh! And there's your oatmeal.
I wish you didn't do that.
I am so sorry. Cliff, is that your new suit?
Yeah, of course. What else?
Don't anybody panic. Just stay right there, and I'll be right back.
Oh, don't worry. Oatmeal goes good with beige.
Hello? got me bald, you can have me this way, honey cakes.
Well, 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 if it isn't the Kavanaugh's housekeeper.
Well, well, if it isn't the Whitney's housekeeper.
What are you doing here?
Is there some law that says I can't sit on a park bench and read?
No, of course not.
Then I'll get back to it.
Is this your day off?
Look, I've almost got this whodunit figured out. See, I mean, I just have the last chapter to go to find out if I'm right. I'd really like to do that in a nice, peaceful atmosphere. So please, Miss Fulton, move on and leave me alone or I'll call a cop.
There's no reason to be unpleasant. I merely wanted to pass the time of day.
You passed it.
Does Mrs. Kavanaugh know that you spend your mornings loitering in the park?
Loitering? I just took Adam to school and sat down here on... What am I doing? I don't have to explain anything to you.
I'm just trying to be polite.
Since when? Look, you know how I feel about you. I don't like sitting here on the park benches if we are friends. So just go and bother somebody else.
What a temper, Mrs. Goodman. But of course, I'm sure that you're still angry about the accident, aren't you?
Oh, that was no accident, and you know it. You locked me deliberately out on that terrace because you knew I was terrified of heights.
That's not true.
I should have called a cop that night and preferred charges against you. Do you know, I decided not to do that just because of the Kavanaughs. I didn't want to embroil them in some sort of brouhaha, so consider yourself lucky.
All right, this is a very, very good time to clear the air. You're absolutely mistaken about the events of that evening and about my motives.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right, I know you won't believe me, but I had a lot of sympathy for your fear. I was trying to cure you of your phobia.
There must be something wrong with my ears. You know, I thought you said cure me.
I did what people do when they try to teach someone to swim. They throw them in the water.
You have a sick mind, lady. No, I mean it. You've just got one wheel off the track.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Because it is true. Oh, listen, I don't want any trouble. So if you won't leave, I'm just going to leave.
Whoa, whoa, you think you're so much better than everyone else, don't you? You're the old family retainer, knows all the family secrets, rears all the children in her own starchy morality, rules the roost behind the scenes. You think that makes you superior to everyone else, don't you? Well, it doesn't. You're nothing but a stupid, ordinary servant.
And what is your job? You're nothing but a glorified maid. Ow!
Jasper and I are happy to announce the JCPenney After Thanksgiving sale for early Christmas shoppers. All fine jewelry 25 to 50% off. All women's sleepwear and robes 20 to 40% off. All Fox apparel for kids 25% off. These men's crew neck sweaters only $19.99. Big savings at the JCPenney After Thanksgiving sale. I just told them that.
Smarter than ever, JCPenney.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Everyone's asleep. Shh, I gotta wake them up. Come on.
Happy holidays from Folgers.
Morning, Beth. You want some breakfast? We're having French toast. Here's the margarine, Mama. Honey, you know I always use butter flavor Crisco.
It's better than margarine, because it gives my recipe a more buttery taste.
Goldeny Rich Butter Flavor Crisco has no salt or cholesterol. Use it whenever your recipe calls for margarine. See, flavors can fade when you fry, but Butter Flavor Crisco is made just for cooking. Margarine isn't, so Butter Flavor Crisco gives foods a rich, buttery taste no margarine can match. More buttery taste in every bite.
Mmm, that's luscious.
How about yours, Beth Ann?
Can I have some more, please?
butter flavor Crisco for more buttery taste every time.
If you'll sign this, Doctor. Oh, it's the report on Mr. Atkinson for Dr.
That's
Virgil.
right. I forgot. Thank you.
Mrs. White canceled her appointment again.
Well, reschedule it. Tell her I want to see her without fail. No more excuses, all right?
Yes, sir. She's gained 5 pounds.
Well, obviously that's why she canceled. You got anything else for me before I go my rounds?
No, Doctor.
All right, Barbara, you want to tell me what's wrong? Come on.
It's nothing, really.
Oh, yes, it is. Come on, don't fudge around with me. I know you're not the weepy type. Something is wrong, something important. What is it?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't seem to stop crying. Well, the truth is, I broke off with my boyfriend last night.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry. Is this a permanent thing or maybe just a misunderstanding?
Oh, it's permanent, all right. He's leaving town.
Oh, he must be crazy to give up a girl like you. Look, I know these times are rough. Why don't you take the day off, give yourself a little time to recover, huh?
No, I'd rather keep busy here. I feel better just talking to you, Dr. Kavanaugh. Thanks a lot.
No, don't mention it. Look, Barbara, you are bright and you are attractive, and if he doesn't appreciate those things, well, the heck with him. You're better off without him, right? Right.
Miss Fulton.
All right, what's the matter?
I need medical attention. I was injured. I was beat up by a crazy lady.
Sit down, sit down. Why didn't you go to the emergency room?
Because your office is nearer. And it was your housekeeper who did this to me.
Someone's following us.
I'll handle this. All right, what's the big idea? Patty Ducast and Richard Coretta.
Why are you following us?
Because we follow Too Close for Comfort on Thursdays.
With our new show, It Takes Two.
If you follow us on Thursday nights, why are you following us now in the middle of the afternoon?
We're practicing.
It Takes Two premieres tonight.
The People's Court today at 4:30. Come on. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a new record. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
You enjoying yourself, Gunther?
Yeah, just killing time, you know, relaxing.
I think you spend too much time relaxing.
Well, you know, you spend too much time watching me relax. You ever think of that?
That's very funny, Gunther. Where's Nora?
I don't know. Well, she went out shopping. She's trying to find a shower curtain for Mr. Whitney's
I saw her leave the house over 3 hours ago. Now, do you think it takes 3 hours to buy a shower curtain?
No, it beats me. Maybe she's just trying it out. You know, they got little rooms down there where you
Never mind, Gunther. Just tell her to see me when she gets here.
Hey, Spence. I thought you were Whitney's business manager, so how come you're getting involved in all these domestic affairs?
Because that's part of Mr. Whitney's business. Now, would you tell her to see me if she'd like to keep her job?
All right, take it easy. Just a little scratch. Believe it or not, Nora, your life is not in danger.
It's not the scratch, it's the idea that that woman did this to me.
I'm sure Mrs. Goodman didn't mean to do you any actual physical harm.
Yes, she did. She would have killed me if she was carrying a knife instead of a handbag.
And she's not that violent a lady. Besides, if you have forgotten, let me remind you that she has pretty good reason to harbor some hostilities against you.
Oh, I know. She told you the lie about my locking her on the terrace.
It wasn't a lie. My wife and I found her when we got home, soaking, out there in the rain, scared half to death. You knew she was afraid of heights. That's why you did that to her.
That's not true. It was an accident. Or maybe it was something worse.
Such as what?
I think she locked herself out there deliberately to get your sympathy.
All right, Nora. I believe that's all my kind of medicine can do for you. You can go home now.
Oh, I'm shaking so bad I can't even walk straight.
I think you can make it as far as the cab stand on the corner, can't you?
I don't think so.
Barbara? Miss Fulton's feeling a little unsteady. You want to help her get a cab, please?
Of course. Come on, Nora.
That's right. I forgot you two used to know each other, didn't you?
Just one thing, Dr. Kavanaugh. When you see Mrs. Goodman and she starts telling you the lies about what happened...
I think we'd all be better off if we just forgot the whole incident.
No, that's just what I want to tell you. I will never forget this. And you can tell Mrs. Goodman that.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by High Point Coffee, the coffee lovers decaffeinated, and by Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean. He helps keep no-wax floors shining bright.
Uh-oh.
What uh-oh? Well, you're installing my no-wax floor. Don't uh-oh.
Oh, the floor's fine. I forgot to explain how to clean it to help keep it shiny.
Oh, well, the shine's built in.
Well, it still needs to be cleaned the right way.
Any suggestions?
Yep, Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean is great.
For no-wax floors?
He doesn't dull a no-wax floor's shine. He works so well, even Armstrong approves.
Really?
Watch. If you lifted a no-wax floor's shine, you'd see the film many cleaners can leave. Not Mr. Clean. And no dulling film means more sunny shine.
If you say so, I'm for Mr. Clean.
Armstrong says so. Here.
For me?
I don't know. Oh, in the bottle.
Sunshine Fresh Mr. Clean helps keep no-wax floors shining bright.
Thank you. Rushing for an 8 o'clock curtain every night means giving up a lot of things, but coffee isn't one of them. I always have time for my favorite instant, High Point decaffeinated. I don't want extra caffeine. I'm active enough, thank you. But I am a coffee lover, so I expect more. Like this delicious aroma. And just look at this deep, rich color. Of course, coffee lovers know it all comes down to taste. That's rich. You know what makes High Point taste so good? Deep brewed flavor.
Try deep brewed High Point. It's the coffee lovers decaffeinated.
You're gonna love it.
It's really very kind of you, Mrs. Carr, letting us have our meeting here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's going to be a very simple lunch. I hope you don't mind.
I appreciate it. I just thought it would be a good idea if we had this meeting out of the public eye. And this is what we would definitely call a safe house.
I'm glad you feel that way.
David, you said you were going to do some further checking into Ian Devereaux's story.
Yes, I have. Devereaux found the letter he received from the Monticello Employment Agency regarding George and Yvonne Foley. Here, I have a photocopy of it.
Well, looks authentic.
I recognize that station. Oh, yes, I've used that agency myself.
Not much of a trick to steal some office stationery.
Wait a minute. They would have had to know where Devereaux was in Europe. And they would have had to be able to intercept any response he would have made to the agency.
Ah, so they handled it all very smoothly.
The word might be professional.
Ah, yes, we are definitely dealing with professionals.
Well, this letter proves that he isn't to be blamed for hiring them.
Perhaps not.
Do you have any doubt?
Oh, just when you've been with the agency long enough, you begin doubting your own mother.
Yes, I suppose paranoia is one of the hazards of the job.
It's very difficult not to be able to trust anyone anytime. Well, I'd better get that lunch made. Excuse me.
Well, David, what happens now? We can't get any more from the Foleys. Are we at a dead end?
Oh, no, we can't let it be that, Mike. Somehow, some way, we have to find some threads to pick up.
Are you really sure it's that significant?
Well, I wasn't that sure until today.
What do you mean?
I received this telegram this morning.
It's from your agency.
Yes. You see, it's deliberately put in writing so that the message would be on the books.
Critic, copy affirmed, but not compromised. Recover, top priority. AG. I'm not sure I can translate that.
I'll do it for you. Critic is, well, that's short for critical intelligence. That's a reference to the phone book. You already know what that is.
Oh, yes, that complete list of U.S. intelligence agents abroad.
Yes, and we're quite certain the list was not compromised, meaning not seen by anyone who might be labeled an enemy. And AG stands for anything goes, which means that we must find that phone book at any cost.
So Eddie Lorimer is actually giving up the art gallery business, eh? My, what a loss for art.
He wasn't making any money at it, that's for sure. I don't even think he knew anything about the paintings that he was selling.
Frankly, I don't either. In fact, I think it's just as well that he's back where he belongs, in the junkyard business.
No, he isn't there either.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me he sold the Lucky Salvage Company.
Tell you the truth, I'm not so sure that that ever really belonged to him.
That doesn't surprise me. I always thought that his big bosses back east actually owned that place.
Well, anyway, he's talking about going into a whole new line of business.
Like what, counterfeiting? Bookmaking? Oh, I got it. Nice little protection racket.
He says he wants to do something elegant, and he's talking about buying this little nightclub downtown called the Pussycat Parlor.
Oh, no. From a phony art gallery to a striptease joint. Now, that's what I call class.
Look, do we have to talk about Eddie?
No, I'd rather not talk about Eddie. I prefer to talk about you. It's just that sometimes the two subjects seem to go together.
Why do they have to?
Because your life seems somehow intertwined with Eddie Lorimer's. I don't know why.
He's just my boss, that's all.
Well, what are you going to do if he buys this pussycat parlor? Become a hat check girl? I don't know. What's he gonna do, make you one of his pussycats?
If I do work for Eddie, I'll be a secretary. A man needs a good secretary, no matter what line of business he's in.
Right, Poppy, that's just my point. I mean, you are really good at what you do, and there's at least 100 top-notch executives in this city that need a wonderful secretary.
Oh! Look, fortune cookies. Go on, take one.
You first.
All right. A tall, dark, handsome man is...
Well, go on. They got the first part right, anyway.
A tall, dark, handsome man is about to propose. Aren't these things ridiculous?
Yeah, well, it could have been worse. I could have got that one. Hey, wait a minute.
It must have been meant for another table.
What are you so worried about? I'm sure it doesn't mean me. I'm not that tall.
Why don't you open your cookie?
Okay, I will. Oh, very interesting.
What does it say?
It says, Zhonglao.
But what does that mean?
It means, Confucius say, there's no time like the present.
Oh, that guy said everything first, didn't he?
I'm sure he did. I wonder if he was the first one to say, I love you.
I think that was Adam. Of course, Adam didn't have too many choices, did he? Men are much luckier today. They have lots of choices.
Yeah, well, all of those choices don't make any difference once you've made a decision.
What are you talking about, Damien?
Poppy, I'm talking about you and me. Look, I love you. I'm asking you to marry me.
I do one thing. Magic. And the secret to being the best is concentrating on one thing, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. They concentrate on making chicken taste magical. I don't know what their secret is, but I know it's something only Kentucky Fried Chicken can do. They make the chicken appear, and we make it disappear.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Listen, America, to a fresh idea from Cracker Jack. New Cracker Jack Extra Fresh Popping Corn. It's made by the people who have popped more popcorn than anyone else in America. That's new Cracker Jack Extra Fresh Popping Corn. We vacuum packed our special kernels fresh as the 4th of July. They're popping tender, popping big, popping fluffy, popping tasty. It's fresh. From Cracker Jack, America's popcorn people.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for doing this.
Well, it was time for lunch anyway, and if a little food will make you feel better.
I think it will. You're very kind.
I'm only doing what Dr. Kavanaugh wanted me to do. He wanted me to make sure that you were okay.
You know why, don't you? He feels guilty about what his housekeeper did to me.
I'm so surprised when people act so uncivilized.
I guess there's something primitive in all of us under the skin, you know.
I don't like to think about things like that.
I know, you're very sensitive, Barbara. Of course, it's been a long time since our friendship, since I was working for Mrs. Kavanaugh's private secretary.
Yes.
I guess you don't like to think about that either, I suppose. You regret ever being my friend.
It wasn't a very good time for me, Nora. I'm sure you know why.
Because of all the Jinx Avery business, I guess Dr. Kavanaugh was a little upset with you snitching on him.
I didn't snitch on him. Well, you're the one who said... Well, I'd really like to forget about that time. I almost lost my job on account of it.
I did lose mine, only because I told the truth just as you did.
I don't know if it was the truth.
Of course it was. You know it was. You walked in the room. You saw him holding that woman and kissing her.
I didn't actually see them kiss, and the doctor explained that he was just comforting her because of the bad news that he had to tell her.
I guess it's important that you accept his story. I mean, after all, if his poor wife did, why shouldn't you?
Please don't say anything bad about Dr. Kavanaugh. I don't want to hear it.
All right, I won't. I know you're fond of him.
You don't know what it's like working for a man like that. I just can't tell you how wonderful he can make you feel. But just this morning, well, I was in pretty bad shape this morning. You see, last night I shouldn't bother you with this.
No, please, please, go on.
Well, last night I broke up with my boyfriend. I must have cried all night. I didn't even want to go into the office. My eyes were so red.
And I'll bet that the doctor noticed, didn't he?
He knew something was bothering me right away. All he had to do was talk to me about it and look at me with those beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, he is handsome, isn't he? I guess that's why most of his patients are women.
The funny thing is, what makes him so wonderful isn't what he says. It's his silences. Is that crazy? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll walk into his office to file something maybe, and he'll just be sitting there, so quiet and thoughtful. When he's like that, I just want to... Listen, we'd better order.
It's okay, Barbara. You're talking to a woman. I know what it's like to have a crush on a man.
I didn't say I had a crush on Dr. Kavanaugh.
No, of course you didn't. Well, anyway, you're lucky not to be working for his wife the way I was.
What do you mean?
Oh, they were just never in the house at the same time. I mean, it was her career, of course. But I know that she planned it that way so they'd never have to spend time together.
But why would she do that?
Because she's a cold fish. That's why. Dr. Kavanaugh is a very lonely man. Well, maybe they have that in the menu. Cold fish.
Do you have to do that now, Gunther?
Oh, just trying to make myself useful, Spence.
Well, why don't you try to find something to do quietly?
Whatever you say, Spence. Okay.
Darling Spencer, Antibes is beautiful, but boring. The weather is perfect, but dull. The food is magnificent, but tasteless. All this because you're not with me, Camilla.
What the hell? Who is that?
Camilla.
Don't worry, darling. I wasn't really smoking your beastly cigar.
What she got and got a lot of hair from Prell. Lots of fullness, lots of thickness, lots of hair from Prell. Goodbye limp, goodbye flat, got lots of this and lots of that. Got lots of hair from Prell.
A little Prell leaves you looking like you got lots of rich, lots of thick, lots of full. Thanks a lot, sir.
Get the hair that's got a lot of, get lots of hair from Prell.
Say hi to Grandma. Oh, Mom, she's such a happy baby.
And comfortable, because Josie wears Love's.
Love's hourglass design fits comfortably.
All elastic diapers don't fit the same. Compare yours to Love's. Hold it up to the light. If the padding's wide, it has to bunch up between your baby's legs. Love's padding's curved to fit comfortably.
Your baby's comfort begins with Love's.
How does your fabric softener smell?
Ah, nice. Ah, nothing.
Introducing new Unscented Bounce.
Unscented Bounce doesn't leave a scent on my clothes. That I love. Regular Bounce gives me the long-lasting freshness I love.
Now there are two kinds of bounce.
Both control static cling, while both leave your clothes soft and fluffy.
Regular or new unscented bounce for...
Nice.
Or...
Nothing.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you, Ian.
Better give me that thing before you set the place on fire.
I just couldn't resist. I wanted to remind you of that day we pinched one of Daddy's $10 Havanas and went to smoke it in the gazebo. You do remember that?
I remember it all right. I also recall that it was your idea. But then, so was most of the trouble I got myself into.
You were always a willing accomplice, Ian. No sister could ever wish for a better big brother.
The other thing that I recall was that I was the one who got sick and the one who got punished.
You took the blame for me, Ian. I think that's why I remember that day so well. You said it was all your idea when it wasn't.
And Daddy was greatly relieved not to have to punish his darling little daughter.
Even if I was guilty as sin.
I wonder if you've changed since those days, Camilla. In fact, I wonder if you've changed at all since I last saw you, which was what, 2 years?
3, darling. 3, with a month or 2 thrown in for good measure. And if you want to find out if I'm different, you'll get your chance. You see, I'm here to stay.
And where is here?
Here is here. This country, this city, this house.
Are you serious?
Oh, when you see all the luggage that's arriving, you'll know just how serious I am.
But what about the apartment in Paris? What about the flat in London? Whatever happened to that dashing Fleet Street journalist?
It's all gone up in smoke. The lease ran out in Paris. They're tearing down the flat in London to build a high-rise. And the journalist fled off to the Mideast or somewhere to make a name for himself.
Well, you should have gone with him.
Oh. No. I felt it was time to come home, to my own country.
But you never had a country.
It says so right on my passport, Ian. Yours too, remember? Citizen of the United States of America. And besides, when I heard you were going to be here, that proved irresistible. It is all right with you, isn't it?
It's more than all right. Mrs. Bowie?
I asked you not to call me that. The old fool has been dead for years. I'm using my maiden name again.
All right. Miss Devereux.
Now sit down, Ian, and start talking. You have years to tell me about.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
Of course you do. With your love life. That's all I'm interested.
Oh, it hasn't been that interesting. I haven't met a single woman worth spending more than a weekend with. That is, not until recently.
Well, that's interesting. And where did you meet her?
Well, you're never going to believe this, Camilla. But she was here. And she was right in my bed.
Hi. Did you get Miss Fulton off safely?
Oh, she's fine. She asked me to apologize to you, Doctor.
Oh, did she really?
She wanted me to tell you that she's sorry if she upset you.
Nora Fulton's one of those people who makes a career out of upsetting other people.
But your wife did hire her once as a private secretary, didn't
Yes,
she?
I know. Some of the few errors in judgment my wife has made, but Nora can hide her worst characteristics for a while. Well, how are you feeling this afternoon?
Oh, much better, Dr. Kavanaugh. Really.
Good, I'm glad.
It's not that the pain has gone away, but you made me feel that it will, sooner or later.
Well, as long as you're so responsive to old Doc Kavanaugh's advice, let me give you another piece of homey wisdom. Don't just sit around waiting for the pain to subside. Go on out, live your life, find some new interests, find another fella, right? I'm sure that'll make the pain leave much faster.
Yes, that makes sense.
I'll make you bet. I'll make you bet that the next guy will be a heck of a lot better than the last one.
Yes, I'm sure of that, too.
Why are sinus headaches a special problem for Mary Wendell?
It's a real heaviness.
It hurts. It's almost like a bruise. Sinus medications, for me, make me very drowsy.
So we're giving her a sinus medicine with an advantage, Sinead. It relieves sinus pain and pressure without making you drowsy.
I feel much better. Sinead does not cause drowsiness, but yet it does relieve the pain and it does relieve the pressure.
Relief, yes. Drowsiness, no. That's the Sinead advantage.
It really is super.
You know how I'm gonna dry off? With Johnson's baby oil. That's right, because that way I dry off soft. Before I reach for a towel, I reach for the Johnson's baby oil. A few drops of Johnson's mixes with the water on my skin and forms a moisture seal that helps hold in all that moisture. So I don't feel greasy, just softer, silkier than ever. After your next shower, don't just dry off soft with Johnson's baby oil from Johnson & Johnson.
On General Hospital, Sammy Davis Jr. as Eddie Phillips breaks up a family reunion.
Good night.
Don't bother coming back.
Happy birthday, baby.
General Hospital, weekdays.
What the hell are you doing now, Gunther?
Mopping.
Why?
Mopping.
I said why?
Oh, well, you told me to do something quiet. Nothing quieter than mopping, right?
Nothing more unnecessary. The room was thoroughly mopped yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's what Nora said. Nora said that you had made her mop and wax the floor, the whole floor in there. Only she said it was some kind of punishment.
Well, if it was deserved.
Why? What did she do?
You don't want to know, Gunther.
Oh, come on, Spence. Be a pal.
Gunther, I suppose it was all my fault. You see, sometimes I forget how snoopy Nora can be. And as the housekeeper, she's entitled to a set of keys for the entire house.
So what did she do?
I'll tell you this much, Gunther. Nora Fulton should not be working here.
You wouldn't try to fire her, would you?
I would, and I could. All I have to do is go and tell Mr. Whitney what I know. She wouldn't be here by tonight.
Oh, come on, Spence. Give the kid a break. She just gave in to temptation. You know, you give her a set of keys. I mean, she's bound to use them, right?
Gunther, is there?
Yeah, I'm in here, baby.
Where have you been all this time?
I've been here for a while. I was in the kitchen trying to get rid of my headache.
Well, what happened? You bump into a door? Well,
It was awful. I was attacked by somebody in the park.
Attacked?
That horrible, horrible woman who works for the Kavanaugh.
hey, come on now, just take it easy.
I had to go to the doctor so I could stop the bleeding.
Sounds very serious, Nora. You're lucky they didn't have to amputate your head.
Come on, baby. Come on. Sit down, come on. Come on, cut it out. Hey, come on now. You just had a little fight. Come on, it doesn't look that bad.
You don't know what it's like to be a woman and all alone in the world with no one to protect you.
Come on. Is that what's bothering you?
It's something else.
Yeah? What is it?
Something the doctor told me when he was examining me.
Well, now, what did the doctor tell you?
He told me that he thinks I'm pregnant.
This is one of nature's most perfect foods. Nothing has been added to it. No sugar, no chemical additives, no preservatives. The flavor and nutrition that grew in it naturally are still there for you to eat and enjoy. It has fiber, low sodium, and no cholesterol. It's a natural whole grain, higher in protein than any other grain, and it costs about 5 cents a serving. It's Quaker Oats, one of nature's most perfect foods.
You're not mixing A1 steak sauce in your ground beef?
A1 in ground beef?
My dear sister, there is steak in that ground beef. And what's better for steak than A1? And I bet you have.
Here it is. A1's herbs and spices make ground beef taste like ground steak. Hamburgers and meatloaf are juicy and tastier. Just mix 3 tablespoons into every pound. 1, 2, 3.
What a difference.
Sure. A1 makes ground beef taste like ground steak.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow, a report on foreign trade. This week, Loretta Lynn, Mrs. Anwar Sadat, and former President Nixon on Good Morning America.
Tonight, women try to outmuscle the men in a 65-ton tug fest on That's Incredible. Then Franco Harris, Billy Sims, James Lofton, and Danny White, pro football's best, take the field again in head-to-head battle on ABC's Monday Night Football Superstars. Tonight on ABC.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, a new epidemic is threatening America. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, often fatal, makes victims defenseless to serious diseases, and science doesn't know the cause or cure. ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
Oh, it's toothache.
Toothache pain? Get maximum relief with Extra Strength Oragel, the pain reliever that works immediately and lasts for hours.
Extra Strength Oragel really works.
This is Stormfield. Coming up on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, a life and death story in the Hudson River.
This man nearly drowned this morning in the Hudson River. He was...
I'm 40, I'll be a rich man.